Thank you for tuning in to Mikey Talks. I'm your host, Mikey Lennon, and today I'm going to talk about someday. Now, someday can be a very dangerous way to look at life. For example, I hate my job. I've hated my job for a while now. I worked at the same place for 5 years, and it was fun for the first year and a half, maybe 2 years, and then I started hating it. I spent 3.5 years at a job I hated. I hated my job so much where I had a few anxiety attacks. And I would dread my days before work. Every day I dreaded before work. I hated my job so much. It didn't matter how bad my day was at work. I never quit because I said someday I'll get a better job. Someday I'll get what I want out of life. Someday I'll get the job that I want. Someday I'll get a better job that will pay me more, and I can then go on with my life with how I want my life to be. Someday I'll get a job I don't dread. Someday I won't be working here anymore. Someday this will just be a memory. Someday, But saying someday allowed me to not look for another job. Saying someday I'll do that made it to where I was comfortable not finding another job because someday I will have another job. Saying someday made it to where I was comfortable with not doing anything to better my situation because someday it will get better. By saying someday, it was a crutch for me to make it to where I didn't have to work for what I want in life. I didn't have to try to find a better job. I didn't have to do anything because someday I'll have it. And I knew I would have it someday. So today I'm just going to relax and get through the day. Today I'm not going to do anything because I had a hard day and I'm just going to get through the day. Today I'm just going to do what I have to do to survive work and get home. And when I get home, I'm going to be eating at that parfait and I'm going to be watching that cartoon to calm myself down, to make me feel better about my day, and then I'm going to go to bed, and then I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do it all over again. But saying someday made it to where I didn't have to actively work towards a better job. I didn't have to actively work towards a better life because I thought I would have it someday. And by saying someday that'll happen, someday I'll do that, it was just a crutch. It was holding me back because it allowed me to not be productive. It allowed me to not work towards what I wanted in life. It allowed me to not work to achieving my goals. It was my crutch. So my advice is, instead of saying someday, say today. Because today is really the day you can start going for what you want. Now for me, I want to be a content creator. The reason why is because I've dealt with depression before, and I've dealt with my insecurities before, and I've had rough times in life. And during those times I was depressed, during those times I had a rough time in life, during those times I felt helpless or hopeless, during those times I was really insecure. Where did I go to? I turned to music. I listened to music to make me feel better. I turned to YouTube. I watched YouTube to make me feel better. Rather, it was a comedy video that made me laugh, or an inspirational video that I needed to hear to make me feel better about that day. I watched cartoons to get me through the day, to help me forget what was so bad about my day. I fell in love with really just the idea of content. When I first started YouTube, my thing about YouTube was starting with my nephew making videos and having fun. But through that, my idea changed. Because now I want to be a content creator to help people out like other content creators helped me out. And it's like, how can I get that job? How can I do that? And through that, I realized I can't be there right away. I can't be this big content creator that people look up to, or a content creator that helps people out on one video. But what I can do is I can start writing rough drafts of my blogs and posting on a blog. I can start making videos and edit videos and put videos out there. I can post on social media. I can learn about I can learn about marketing. I can learn how to write better, and I can learn how to make better videos. And just because I can't get there right now doesn't mean I can't work towards it. But by saying someday, that allowed me not to work towards it. But by saying today, I was able to really start working on it. Because I'm not going to be that content creator right today. But today, I can write a blog. I'm not going to help someone today because no one knows who I am, but today, I can make a video And I can use this as an opportunity to learn how to edit and an opportunity to work on my charisma on the camera, work on marketing, work on how am I going to market my videos, try to find my voice. I can use today to try to get prepared for the future. I can use today to learn a skill I can use in the future to get what I want. I can use today. So instead of saying someday, say today. Because today is really the first day you have to start working on what you want out of life. By saying today, you're actively working towards your future. But by saying someday, you're gonna just prolong that. Because I could say someday I'll get that, someday I'll do this. I did that with my job. And do you know what that led me to? That led me to working at the same job I hated for 5 years. Well, 3 years is what I actively hated it for, but still, that's a few years of my life working a job I hated that I'll never get back. Because I said someday. But if I would have said today I'm going to do this, today I'm going to do that, I could be further along right now than I am right now. Because I could have spent more time working on my future than I did. If I said someday I'll quit that could last 10, 15, 20 years. 20 years of saying someday and just continuing living the life you hate, having the job you hate, and just because you just said someday, and that someday lasted you 20 years. But if you would have said today I'm going to do this, well then in that 20 years you could have actually achieved something in your future. You could have reached the life you wanted. You have potential. Just don't say someday, because someday is a crutch that will damage your future. Say today I'm going to do this. Even if it's just a small little goal, like today I'm going to create a blog. I'm not going to write anything on it, but I'm going to create a blog, get the website ready. Tomorrow, I'm going to do my first rough draft. The next day, I'm going to edit the draft and publish it. And then I'm going to post on social media. And then I'm going to make a Facebook ad for it. Then the next day, I'm going to write a rough draft. Then the next day, I'm going to write another blog, and use that as a learning experience and just do little by little. Well, even if you do little by little, in the course of a couple years, that can still have drastic effects on your life, and you can get a lot further along. Even if you just spend an hour a day, or even a half hour a day, doing what you want out of life, that can have a drastic effect of your future, or in your future. So just start working on what you want out of life. Start figuring out your goals and start achieving your goals today. Don't wait for someday. And that's all I have for this video. And if you would like to help me out, my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel, and you could be one of my first subscribers. So why don't you go down and subscribe down below and help me achieve my goal and be one of the first people to support me.